Okay, very good. Well, Joe hasn't responded, so we'll get started. Not going to be too long of a meeting, and I only have one thing to talk about real quick concerning the YouTube channel. I was doing my Xenons the next episode in my Xenons campaign, and I realized that I had actually started the campaign over 10 months ago, which is pretty ridiculous. That's a really long time for a campaign to go. And I was looking at the victory objectives, and the victory objectives are like insanely ridiculous. Like they basically require full map domination for it, and I think that interest in the campaign drops off like way before then. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
get
one of
too strong.
yeah, and I'm not one of those YouTubers like Lionheart that does like 4 episodes in a Let's Play per week. Like it's usually one or two. So I was considering if you guys would be open to me like not from this point forward not going for CA's objectives in the campaigns, but maybe just making like some custom objectives before we start, so that the Let's Plays are like 10 to 15 parts maximum. Like would
Yeah, that
anybody
would be
Yeah,
would
cool.
Oh
would
yeah.
yeah.
like
Make
nobody
like your
cares
own
about full
thing.
map completion or anything?
No,
I don't
Okay.
think
not really.
so.
Well, that's
Like
good. That's really good to
always
hear.
the goal.
Because I was shocked that like it was, yeah, I did the first episode of the Xenons campaign of August of last year. So like it's like I'm bored of this campaign. I've been bored of this campaign since like episode 22. Like I don't really want to continue it much more, and like I'm already at a stage where the steamroll is going to begin. So, but I wasn't sure if that's something that people on YouTube really enjoy to watch is the steamrolling aspect.
Nah,
Yeah, I didn't think so. So
beginning is always the most interesting, at
yeah,
least in my opinion.
well, and one of the most enjoyable campaigns I ever had was the France campaign in 1212 because I just made a custom objective and it was only 10 parts.
Yeah,
And it was super fun, and like for the Xenon's objectives, like I have to sack the capital city of every single faction. I have to make sure that Rome isn't alive. I have to have like 180 units of noble swordsmen. I have to have 80 naval units like fielded. It's like that's boring to me. Like I don't even want to continue much more than maybe one or two more episodes on that. So as long as everybody's cool with that, then
Yeah.
very cool.
okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, is there any like custom objectives like or general custom objectives that you guys would suggest, or would you think would
Conquer your home region or something.
okay,
Like if you start in Italy, conquer Italy, the surrounding area,
okay,
I say
for
maybe
example.
defeat a main rival or something. So if you're doing something like, I don't know, Rome 2, playing as Rome beat Carthage, for example.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. Main rivals, okay, or like I was thinking another good objective maybe it's not so much of a thing in like the mods like 1212 and Ancient Empires, but like in Rome 2 and stuff, like maybe like confederation with all same bloods, I guess, once that happens.
Make like a union victory.
Yeah, because like in the Xenons, like I my
Diplomatic game.
yeah my goal was to like unite the North type thing, and there's only one other faction that's same blood that I haven't confederated with, but I'd be kind of happy to leave it there after like all the confederations with the like your same peoples kind of.
Yeah.
So like confederation, I guess.
Like a confederation victory.
And I mean, like we could do like a couple of these. Like I don't know if I really want to go as far as like actually polling what the objectives are. I'll just kind of pick them on my own, because it depends on what kind of faction you're playing as too, I
Yeah,
suppose.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to hear then.
Make them custom
Because
for each time play.
my next campaign is either going. I'll do a poll for it, but it'll either be another 1212 campaign or it'll be an Ancient Empires campaign.
Axum.
Oh, I know
Axum.
you want Axum Attila campaign so
And
bad.
you can do control all the spies as your custom victory.
Okay, I'll write that down. So I'll 1212
You
Ancient
get to
Empires
fight
or
Rome and
Attila
assassinate. It's challenging.
campaign. Yeah, because in the Axum campaign, don't you come up right against the Sassanids too? Aren't they like in
After a
modern day
while.
Saudi Arabia area ish?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
your immediate enemy is the Eastern Roman Empire.
Okay, kill a. Okay, so I'll put those three as the choices.
I'd watch 10 out of 10.
All right, fair enough. Well, that's good. I'm glad everybody's pretty receptive to that because I mean, there's a couple people that like even on like part 28 and part 29 are asking where the next episode is, but I'm losing interest in it pretty quickly. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it's
And-
understandable.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Never even done a world conquest in total. Always give up.
yeah, I've only done it ever one time, and I don't think I've ever done it for YouTube. So, and it was on Medieval 2. So, like, Medieval 2, I guess, is really the only campaign that I would have interest in world domination, kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So that's good. I mean, like, the hot seats are the exception because that's much more interesting and it's multiplayer and stuff. So that's okay. But, well, that's good to hear. So maybe I'll revise my victory objectives for the Wars of the Gods campaign as well because that's another one I'm not really typically enjoying very much. And do I have any other campaign? Oh, I had my Huang Shao one. But Nath said that was a pretty easy victory. You just have to get to the highest form of enlightenment and then take a certain city. So that's really not too bad.
Enlightenment goes automatically, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just by turn. Like your enlightenment, it's like a progress bar. And once you reach the highest stage, then you just have to like take like a certain capital of like the Han Empire, I think, and that's it. So that's a really easy
CPC.
yeah, victory. Okay, well that's good. So that's pretty much all I really had to talk about. So if you guys want to start with the Clan War stuff, that's fine.
Clan Wars.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Was the naval battles this time?
Okay.
Because every game calculates losses of naval battles very different. It's hard to do in Clan Wars. Better with a more simplified system, I
So
think.
have you guys decided that you are 100% restarting, or have you changed your mind on that?
I don't think we are.
Okay, well
I haven't
that's
really gotten any answers from people.
okay.
Oh.
I mean, we
like
could always do a
submitted
poll on the
one.
Discord if you wanted, like a sure answer, but then you risk
Yeah, sure.
you run the risk of people who aren't even involved in the clan wars that will vote negatively.
You can make your own Clan Wars poll.
What do you mean?
As long as people
So
keep
for
playing,
non-vigilant
I'd restart.
villagers can join in if they
Yeah, I
want
don't
to.
think we need to restart it yet.
I don't really think so
Because
because
the main thing that's come out in Earth, unless I'm mistaken, is just the naval thing. And
I have more stuff, Kelt. It's just impossible to implement without a restart.
Right.
It's no rush though. We don't have to restart if
Right.
people don't want.
I mean, the thing is, we're only at like turn maybe 30 or something. It's been
It's more than that, I
Really?
think.
really. I thought it was like turn 30 something.
I think it's pretty late now.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's like turn 30 something. I thought 30 or 40. But it's been like what's it? July, and they started in late February. Yeah,
Yeah, so I guess if one turn per week,
yeah.
it's probably
Possibly.
no more than 30. I mean, sometimes it takes quite a bit of time to get a hold of the clan leader to get the turn done anyways, so
Yeah.
we're working on mine at the moment because we want to sort out the naval thing.
yeah, no, I was aware of that. That's not a problem. So the naval properties that you want to implement, do they affect the
No, there's no
colonies as
problem
well?
with that. I can post it in discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the
Did we sort out an
Overall
upkeep for
idea, though.
navies as well? Because that was the main one.
Upkeep for navies.
Upkeep for navies, because that was the main
I
one. 'cause right
haven't
now there's
added
nothing
any
written.
upkeep,
Okay.
but the losses is what I was concerned about. Because in Napoleon it does per ship lost, but in
Right.
Attila it counts the men lost.
Right.
And the men on a ship can vary from 12 to 100. It's hard to know how
And
many
also,
ships
again,
are
it,
lost.
it depends on each game handles it quite differently. Just like I was saying, because the way combat goes, I was seeing Attila and Rome. There's a lot more boarding and killing of the people,
Right.
and also
Yeah.
a lot more ships sinking. Whilst you don't actually sink that many ships in Empire and Napoleon. It'll usually just be them surrendering and just sitting there.
Yeah. The thing is, we don't have cannons in like Clan Wars, so you almost have to like think about what kind of method you want to do the battles in.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's the thing. Like the naval battles in Attila and Throne aren't that well done, and it's only really if you use ships in Rome too, but the system really works particularly well,
Yeah.
I would say. And so if Empire and Napoleon and Shogun too will be good ones for naval. I mean Shogun, well, no, not everyone has it. That's probably the best shout on it. It kind of does do a
Oopsie.
boarding and thinking, and well, actually, there's not much
Yeah,
thinking,
but if we
you're
use this
wiping out
system, we can
troops.
play any game though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just
Because
just
here,
saying,
I don't
but
calculate losses. You
Napoleon,
just lose the
yeah.
entire fleet if you lose.
So
If you lose
basically,
two
it's
times.
it's not so much about how many ships or men you lost. It's just about being immobile for a few turns. It looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
and then if you're attacked again, you lose the entire fleet.
Okay. But so it's saying the fleet is granted double movement while returning to the port. So that's the losing fleet, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that
So
makes
you
it
can
harder for them
catch
to
up
be
with
pursued.
it with
Yeah.
the same fleet you attacked with.
Okay.
If you want to catch up, you need another fleet intercepting it.
Okay. And is there initial cost for fleet?
Yeah,
Like
you have to build each ship individually.
Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough.
It's very expensive.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, but
That's
then
why-
as once they're built, then there's no upkeep for them, I guess.
Yeah, we didn't really discuss that too much.
Okay. Well, how much
but
how
the
much
con-
surplus are you guys making?
Making
Much are we?
I
As
think
far as the power goes, like are you guys making insane amounts
Let's
of
take a
power per
look.
turn?
we are making 36 per turn, and Ku is making 36. War Dogs 33, and
Reckon
Albion is
21.
21.
Yeah.
I don't think we need
Yes.
upkeep, but we'll see if people start spamming fleets.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I'm thinking of is instead of armies, like they could just span a bunch of fleets.
We're gonna say. I mean, I'm probably gonna do a colony project. So I just wanted to make sure of what the upkeep was, because obviously that'll affect the end of
Right. Yeah.
the new income.
Okay.
Well, it depends what you guys think, really. If you want a small upkeep or not.
Well, what's the
Wouldn't
upkeep
have
for
to
armies?
be too much. 2 power per turn if you're outside of friendly territory.
And in friendly territory is free.
Free.
So why not just apply it to the same for navies? Do we have sea controlled tiles as far as like the clans go? Like, is there
No
certain?
mechanic for it, really.
No, eh?
We
Okay.
do have ports, though, so
But I think
be
like we
free
can
while
say
it's in
that
ports.
fleets can be docked into port.
yeah,
And then they wouldn't cost upkeep if they're docked, maybe.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sounds
think
good.
that'd work.
I can add that. 2 power.
Yeah, because the same as
per fleet.
armies, it's not enough that it'll break the back of your economy, but it still should cost something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
well-
just write that it follows the same upkeep as armies then.
Yeah, that'll work. And so it says clan may only use a maximum of 4 fleets in battle at one time due to the 4v4. Can
You can have more navies total, though, but you can't use more than 4 in one
right.
battle.
And armies being carried by the fleets do not participate or count extra. So if you have 2 fleets in one army, then you can't have 3 fleets, basically. It'd be-
Well, you can, because the army is not in the battle.
Right, but I'm saying, like, in the actual battle, if 2 fleets are carrying one army, then it doesn't equate to 3 fleets on the battle.
Oh, no.
It'd be 2.
Nope. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then for that case, would you switch out the Marines for like an army?
Well, I guess they just wouldn't. They wouldn't
They're
even be a
not
part
in
of
the
battle at all.
at all.
Okay.
You don't bring them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
I mean, if we were only playing on Rome 2, then that would make total sense. To have 2 armies that would be the actual naval units and then just transports for the other army, but you can't carry that over into Napoleon or Empire.
Yeah, I just don't want transport army to give extra strength to the fleet.
Right.
I want
Yeah.
Navy to stay separate
Right.
so
Yeah.
that you can still dominate the seas even if you don't have many armies.
Right. And how far can fleets move per turn?
Only one tile.
Just one tile? Okay.
Yeah.
But then, so if one fleet gets defeated, and then it can move 2 tiles the next turn, I'm assuming, to get back
Yeah,
to
until
port
it
faster.
reaches the port.
And does it have to go straight back to port after it's attacked?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty cut and dry.
Easy peasy.
Yes, lemon
Simple.
squeezy.
I used to have it so you lost the entire army if you lost a fleet. I mean, lost a battle. But Joe didn't like that.
Yeah, that might make people pretty salty, I think.
So I think if you lose half the army and then half again, you should never lose it entirely.
Right.
Just lose 10 and then 5 and then 2, I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe you could implement something if the fleet is destroyed, like defeated twice, then the army just
Oh yeah, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty good then. A good idea.
And you can do your turn kilt.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get on that in a bit.
It's probably gonna build 4 fleets.
Oh shit.
Is there a cap
Well,
on
I
how
mean,
many
like I
fleets
say,
you can
I'm
build
gonna
per
do
turn?
I'm going to do a colony project which costs 100, so I probably can't
Oh,
afford
okay.
another fleet.
But that
Oh.
makes a good point. How many fleets are you allowed to build one turn? I think it should be you can only
Only-
build 1 fleet per turn per port. That you
No,
have.
you can. It's in the
You
rules if you go to
Yeah, the-
Yeah, I
construction.
think it.
The
Yeah,
building
1
rate
per turn per
limits
port,
it.
right?
Oh, okay.
I can bring it up.
2 ships. 2 ships per turn
Okay.
is the port. Port City, I think, gives 5 per turn.
I see. Are naval units in port cities part of a garrison? I don't know if we even thought about that.
A
if the
port
Navy's
gives you
there,
2 ships garrison
Oh, okay.
like if a
and
Navy's
12
sitting there,
units.
so if the Navy's there,
Oh.
does it pull it in?
I mean, I guess you could.
I guess it
No,
would be.
because they're dedicated naval units. So in a game like Napoleon, you can land them in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
fine,
because
then.
it's
Would
different
only work in
tactics.
Attila.
Medieval.
Because
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Rome 2, technically it would come in as part of it, but in Napoleon, if you attack a port, it actually doesn't it drive the navy out of the port? I'm pretty sure it does. So it wouldn't be part of the battle.
We're gonna say. I mean, to be fair, the siege battles in Napoleon. Because that's all we really need to go off here is how the battles play out. Obviously, sieges in Napoleon versus not cities anyway. But
Right.
I mean, the problem is if people want to do the battle in something like Medieval 2, you can't really implement the naval
Yeah,
units, so
yeah.
perhaps we leave them out in a
Yeah.
siege.
So I
And
guess
if the place gets taken, the navy just gets kicked out and into the adjacent sea tile.
okay. So it doesn't get destroyed if the port is lost.
I mean,
I mean,
well, that'd be-
I don't
yeah,
think it should.
we could.
I don't think it. That would be pretty
I
ridiculous.
think that if your faction has at least one other port that you can go to, you should keep the fleet.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have no other ports, then how can you maintain your fleet?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. But I mean, could you? Oh, see, that's the other thing too. So I know this only is talking about naval battles in itself, but can a fleet attack a port city? Or are they not allowed? Like it's only armies that are allowed to attack ports. Like, could you use 2 navies to attack a port settlement?
I guess if you're transporting an army, you can navally assault. But
So
then only the army will be used in the actual battle.
okay.
But yeah,
I mean,
naval
I think we could
invasions, I
implement some
think, are
kind
cool.
of like blockade mechanic of someone being able to get in or out of the port. But
Yeah, that would
The
make
thing
it
is,
too
again,
complicated though.
I mean, if we just have it so you can put your navy on an enemy port, and then the enemy can't bring stuff in or out of that port, could work.
Right.
I
But
don't know.
don't we already have a mechanic where if a
But,
settlement is
well,
under siege that it doesn't make any power per turn or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd probably just act the
Oh,
same
yeah.
with like a naval blockade, I would assume.
Yeah.
I
Then
guess we
again, I
can
mean,
just call it siege as well. If you're transporting an army, you can siege a coastal
Right. Okay.
instead of
yeah.
calling it
I'm
blockading and
gonna
just
say
having the same mechanic.
Right, right. Okay.
the problem again from attacking by sea is if people want to do these battles on medieval too, something like that or
Well,
Shogun too.
that's
Yeah,
just
but
too
we'll
bad. You
just
can't.
not
Yeah.
include the navy.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're sieging by sea and then you attack, you only use the army
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the actual battle.
Right.
The navy just stays on the map.
Okay.
Unless it's a naval battle.
Right. So that's the only time where you can actually fight the battle is with the fleet, is if it's a naval battle against other ships.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think that's just the way we have to do it. So
Yeah.
we can play
Yeah.
more Total War games.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
Making
Well,
it more accessible.
that's pretty good then. So, Azrian had said he wanted to talk a bit about the tile
yeah.
system.
Okay, so me and Giant were talking about the tile system before, and we were thinking about changing it to where you have a certain tile. You have one tile axis for the sea for every, what's it called? Oh, shit.
Like adjacent one you own on land type thing?
You only have one sea tile axis, one tile of land at any time. So for our map, we kind of have it to where we have at least probably 3, 4, maybe 5 tiles of land will touch one sea tile. We were
Right.
thinking about changing it so that way you only have one tile that would touch one tile of land.
And the purpose being for...
Just so that way when I like,
It's very messy right now.
Yeah, it's really messy. And the
Figure
thing
out
is,
who owns what or what impacts each. There's like 5 connections to each tile.
Yeah, the tiles are
Yeah.
very large.
they're
Sometimes
large.
it's not that easy to tell if you can travel to a tile or not.
Yeah. No,
So you're
I
proposing
did
that just basically make the sea tile borders touch the land tile borders?
redo the
I
sea
can
tiles.
do an
that way we
example.
have one tile touch one
Check
tile of sea.
the discussions.
Yeah.
Like that tile right there. Does it connect to all the tiles here or just some of the?
I don't know. I can't see. I have to probably be added in, I think. Or wait, do I have to type my name again? Is that why?
No, it's in discussion in Discord.
Oh, it's in Discord.
Most
Okay.
of the picture.
Oh, yeah. So all those tiles are intersecting there?
Yeah, it's really messy. Can't see what connects to what. If you can go to every single tile from each of those tiles.
Yeah, I'm assuming that is what it is. Yeah. So.
There's a lot of those instances.
Yeah. Okay.
Here.
I don't think we have to add too many tiles, but fine tune some of them at least. Make them a bit more clear.
Right. Well, that goes back to what I was saying. Like, should clans be able to own like sea tiles that are adjacent to like their land tiles? Maybe.
Well, I don't know. As you see, for example, here. Let me get a picture.
Because if we're going to be adding
as well.
the same amount of upkeep for navies as we do for armies, how would you regulate what's friendly and what's hostile?
If you're in port or
Nothing.
not.
Oh, so it's only in
Nothing
port.
is friendly.
Okay, so it's all
Only
You
neutral.
see that
port.
tile there? Both me and War Dogs are connecting to the same sea tile.
Right, I
Yeah.
see.
So how would
So-
we say who owns what?
Right.
Yeah. So in this instance, for my thing, we would change it to this. Change it to that. And I messed up on the top line because there's actually 2 tiles.
Right, I see.
But But yeah, just change it to like that. So it's more grid, but it's more fair for everything. Because like with the War Dogs thing, they could probably just make a port, and then they could just say, "Oh, well, it's down at the bottom," and then they could come in radar capital if they wanted to.
Because it's all in the same C tile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I don't think. I mean, it would make it a little bit easier to read, especially since we're adding or implementing in naval units now.
Yeah.
Kel, do you like E?
Yeah, that sounds good with me.
So I guess like on Albion's side, these massive like super long French fry tiles. Like, how would you divide those up? Like, how would you divide a C tile that's surrounded by C tiles? Like, just
What?
go. Well, like, are you just gonna make one massive tile, like from one side of the map to the other, just because it borders only one? Like, just to the top left of Albion, you can see that massive long tile.
Well, we can split it up. I mean, that was just so that way when you're trying to go around the top of Britain, it would still take some turns, but
Right.
it wouldn't be like 50 turns to get around.
Right. Okay.
You'd be able to get there pretty soonish.
Right.
You can do big tiles
so
on the
fair.
sea, but small
Yeah.
tiles around the coast.
Next to the
Yeah,
coast.
that's
Yeah,
what I was
that's a good
thinking.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think anybody else
It's going
has
to be
it.
a little bit choppy, though, when it comes to Britain. I have to combine some tiles. Because then we got all the sea tiles in this like river area here near Bristol.
Make some exceptions for
Yeah.
Britain, maybe.
Yeah, like
Make them like regions.
because unlike here, I could just put the line like right there, kind of like how I have it already.
Well, and if some of the provinces are too, or like regions are too small, I could always like erase a couple of the borders to make them larger. Like this one over here is pretty small.
Yeah,
So like I could maybe
Yeah.
make this one instead of
yeah,
just
or,
two.
and also split up some of the bigger ones because I really kind of want to split this one up into 2 or 3.
Yeah, if you cut it right actually here.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe here too. Could make this another tile.
which one? Oh, the top one.
The very top one. Yeah.
There's
You
a lot
could
of fine
probably split that one
tuning.
in. A lot of what?
A lot of fine tuning.
I mean, not really. I just have to draw some black lines on it. But I just
Yeah,
mean,
not-
like, this is down here. That's going to be a nightmare to try and put a, like, divide a
Yeah,
sea
that's
tile
a
between
really
those
small
two.
province.
Yeah.
And how are we going to factor in, like, islands? Like, would they just become, like, part of this region, I guess? Is it the same region, maybe? And, like, this one down here could be, like, the same as this region?
Yeah,
I
I
guess
think
it,
so.
Yeah, it would be
All right.
because it's like off the coast of the others. So.
Right. So if Gorlami, say, takes this region, they automatically get access to this fish because it's part of the same one.
We would still have to buy the
No,
territory.
you still have
though.
to get there. Just that down the naval tile, they'll be on the same one.
Okay, so they're still treated as separate regions then,
Mm-hmm.
but same naval.
Yeah.
Naval space.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Baruski.
Fair enough. Anything to add there, Red
I'll have
Celt?
to
Or?
figure out. I'll have to figure out places like this. Have like a
That's all
small
good with me.
sliver.
I think Red Celt is
figure it out
eagerly
there.
awaiting his colony.
I gotta figure out though.
Yeah, as long as I can get around to Yorkshire easily enough, I'm happy.
I know 100% that's where you're going.
I mean,
Is
Wales
that you that
fenced
placed the
in.
gold resource around Yorkshire there?
No, I wasn't responsible for putting
always been
resources
there, I
on the
think.
map.
It was you that did that Celtic.
Oh, was it? So I was like, that's very convenient for you.
The only thing
Probably
I'm trying to
didn't know
think,
whereabouts
though.
Yorkshire was at the time, did you?
Yeah, I know. I knew it was right here. Come on now. From Medieval 2.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
It's always the first settlement battle when you're playing as England.
No, the only problem is these small tiles. I gotta figure out what to do with these guys.
But we can make
Yeah, I'm not-
exceptions then and just
Yeah.
make bigger sea tiles.
Yeah, like combine them
I
together.
don't think it matters too much in Britain, but it should be per tile in Ireland to make it fair on the homeland.
Right.
Ish. I'm just trying to think of like the hand dogs region right there. Let me get the picture. Like this one. Where that could be considered touching the sea. That tile. I guess it wouldn't be
No,
because the other one.
I don't think so.
No. Like unless the river, like unless those two are both one province. But no, see, one is yours and one is his, so I would say no. It's not.
Yeah.
Rivers don't count as like ways to the sea.
Yeah.
No.
Like
No,
that.
And
they
all
don't
of a
count.
sudden we build a port on the gold tile. Wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So that's basically what I did. That's basically my proposition, just changing some of the sea tiles.
All right, well,
Then we can almost leave the sea tiles as they are on the outer parts.
right. And then I guess as Britain becomes more colonized, maybe we could fine tune the sea tiles once we see who owns what, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. Even the people that aren't in attendance. Joe said he had a birthday party to go to, so that's why he's not here. But he'll watch it over.
Party.
Yeah, I think it was for like a child though, so I don't think it's that kind of party. Yeah, his kid's birthday party. But he'll watch it over. I'll probably post this tomorrow so he can watch it, and then I'm sure he'll comment if he has any questions or whatnot. But you said you had already gone through the naval changes with them anyways, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only one that hasn't had a say, I guess, is Hamdog, but I think he's working today, so he couldn't make it. But
Didn't he have something important to discuss?
I don't think so. Not that he's
I
told me.
said so
So.
in leader's
Oh.
circle.
Oh,
Well,
did
said
he?
he was supposed to meet or supposed to say something next meeting.
Oh, well, he can always comment it on the actual video, and then we can bring it up in the leader circle or whatever.
He had a lot to talk about for next week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're going to try and get the meetings back on track, technically next weekend. Well, I'm probably not going to do that, but next weekend would have been the next meeting. But I'll probably do it in 2 weeks, I think. I'm just too busy on Sundays lately to get it at the first of the month all the time. So.
Well, I think you said we were going to split it to once every 2 months, didn't you? These meetings.
I'm considering it because there isn't as much to talk. Like when we first launched the Clan Wars, there was a lot to talk about, but now it's kind of just like fine tuning stuff. So, and
Yeah.
there's not much on the YouTube side of things I have to mention. And if there is, usually I just ask you guys directly.
Well, other than
so.
global warming's causing us to lose all our videos.
I know. Well, it's a balmy 21 degrees right now, so I'll get some recording done tonight.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes. I'm not
I
melting
still
into a puddle in my
redo-
chair right now.
Still need to redo the broadband thing. I need to do that one more time.
Yeah, we could do
Thank you,
that.
guys.
I mean, I'd probably even be available tonight if you want to try it one more time.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it down. Basically, we're just gonna match each other in stats and everything
Okay.
because I can't figure out any other way of doing it.
Yeah, like I said, the only way I can think of not having you take the army loss penalty is for us to switch the numbers of the siege and the land battle rounds. So only like 10v10 for the, 20v20 for the land, and then have like a 40v40 for the siege. Because then you'd have way more troops to defend from. Because it was 10, it was 4 players with 10 units each for the land battle, right? So it's 20v20. And then it was only 10 units defending for you guys.
It
So if you
was 20 and 10.
Yeah, so if you swap that around and have only 10 in the land battle and 20 defending, then you won't take the army loss penalty. It just won't be as big of a land battle scale. Is
I
the
think
only thing.
taking it down the 5 units because that would probably take out a couple thousand.
Right. The only other thing I could
think
think
it
of
would.
maybe leveling the playing field is for us to not have our sub-commanders in the land battle, but to have our generals. And then so if they die in the land battle, then the routing would kind of be equal on both sides.
No, because we don't put our generals in anyway. So I think it's just that we limit the chevrons on the land
Right.
and then just equal out the chevrons and the number of troops on the reinforcements. Because it
Yeah.
works fine when we don't have a lot of chevrons. It's just last time we tried it, TZN and I think Nav had a whole bunch of money because I told them not to bring 5 more units
Right.
each with Silver 1.
Yeah.
And then they just bronze 3'd up, and we got completely destroyed. We lost like all of our land units, and they lost like a few units.
That wasn't the
between them.
first one though.
No, that was the last one we tried.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, because the first battle I think still is the best one. So if
Yeah.
worse came to worse, it was still a pretty epic clash.
Yeah. Just the overpowered thing makes everything difficult to do anything.
To
with.
balance, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless does the overpowering thing happen as a whole, like for the team, or is it only per player?
It's the team.
Oh, see, because I was gonna say maybe only one person should do the land battle, and then it wouldn't matter for the person who's doing the siege. But if it's together, then
I mean, if you bring 30 and 30, then it means you have 30 units up for the siege. I mean, that could work.
yeah. But I'm saying if
But
one
then that
player
would
is
just be-
completely healthy in the siege defense, maybe it'd be different.
Yeah, the only problem is then you'd have, like, basically you'd just be choke points for most of the time. Unless we just had you bring more archers. I don't know. I think just taking off 5 units, making it equal and chevrons in number,
Yeah.
then just not having a whole bunch of chevrons for the attackers on the field
Right.
makes it good. Because I think having more archers, more cav, and having the candlemen just super OP wins the battle anyway. So
Right.
plus
so
4 pikes.
if we have less units on, are you taking away from the reinforcements or from the land battle?
Reinforcements.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say we barely win the land battle as is, right?
Yeah,
Like it's pretty
that's
close.
what's supposed
so-
to happen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
the
but I
thing
mean,
is
if you
we-
take 5 units away from the land battle, we'll probably lose it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, they're going away from the reinforcements.
Oh, okay. So I can't
So
bring
the-
5
so-
catapults anymore. That's not fun.
No.
Can't bring 5 units of Ritter.
It
That's
just
unfair.
mean that the land units. It just mean the land battle units make even more. Be even more important.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, if you can scrape together a bunch of people to do that tonight, I should be on around 7 or 7:30.
Yeah. Joe will probably be on.
Yeah,
Think.
we want to make sure he's on the winning side, though. We don't want him to lose again.
I'll probably play with him again.
Right. Right.